Greg Silva, again, thank you for opting into United Professionals. Again, I just want to give you a little information on the services we provide you as a client. One of the things you may have heard me talk about before is focus groups. Now, you may wonder what exactly a focus group is. I do these daily. These are live classes. This is where you're getting your information. It's interactive. When we do a call, it'll be similar to this. In fact, I'm using the exact program. The only difference is that you'll be able to see everyone else is online. So I do talk to the clients. We do get feedback, and clients can talk back and forth to each other. So I just want to kind of go over the information that was on last week's focus group. Let me make my picture a little smaller. So first thing we talked about was July reprieve, because we talked about at the beginning of the month, July having 5 weeks instead of 4 weeks. So we had a little longer to work on all our numbers. So this was just the things we talked about. We talked about the numbers. Next, we talked about the Director of First Impressions. This is the person that's usually at your front desk. He or she is greeting new people coming through the door. Then we have our marketing focus for the week. We had a little bit about instructor training. And then this was in July, but some of the schools' systems start early throughout the country. So we actually started our back-to-school marketing in the second week of July. Now, the first thing we talked about was daily goals. At this time when I did this program, there were 16 working days left for July. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take all our goals and find out exactly where we were at our goals. These would be financial goals, new student goals, event goals. We have 5 income generators, so we have 5 different goals that we set for our end goal, which is our total gross for the month. So at this time, we just decided to get all our numbers in line. We knew we had 16 days. We decided exactly what we had to do before the end of the month to reach all our goals. See, to me, when monthly goals are so important because it's like a student in training. The students in training, every single month, they're doing a strike test. As long as they pass every strike test, they're going to make their belts into graduations on time. If you're a school owner and you're setting yearly goals, as long as you make your monthly goals, you know you're going to make your yearly goal. So it's really important that during these meetings, we spend some time focusing on the money and the number of students. So we just took 16 days left. How much we need to do as far as new students gross, divided by 16, and now we had a daily goal. This is what we have to do in each category every single day. So now we have the yearly goal, we broke it down to monthly goals, and now to hit that monthly goal, what do we have to do each day? So we talked a lot about this. Everyone does the worksheet at the same time, so everyone's on track for their goals. Next thing we talked about was the Director of First Impressions. We want to make sure that the Director of First Impressions was her task or his task were aligned for the goals of the month. So in other words, that if attendance was really important on events, we had to make sure that the person coming in or the person greeting talked to the parents and talked to the students about signing up for the events. If they weren't ready to sign up for events, how that person would actually persuade them to come to the event. So all of a sudden, a little girl comes in and goes, I don't know, I'm kind of shy, I don't want to come in. Well, there's a lot of other little kids. You're going to meet friends right away. In fact, I'm going to make sure that I pair you up with one of our most popular students. She's going to be taking you around. She'll introduce you. You're going to have a blast at this. You know, the most important thing would be to bring a friend, and then you make sure you're going to have some fun. So in other words, we're training our front-end office person so we hit the results for the number of people we want to come to our extra events. Because these extra events, students are paying a small amount. So again, this is part of our financial goal. Now, we also want to sell retail items. That's one of our goals. That's one of our income generators. So what could the woman or the guy at the front end, how could they help with our retail goals? Well, one, I want to make sure they're watching all the students coming in. If they have gear that doesn't fit or if their gear's ripped, now we can go up to the student or the parent and say, we're making an order for new equipment this Friday. I see your gear's ripped. Would you like to order some new gloves? Or if she noticed that someone's just outgrowing the uniform, Now they're talking to the parent, go, wow, Stephanie's just growing so fast. That uniform's getting way too small. We're making an order for new uniforms on Friday. Would you like me to order your new one? What color would you like? So again, now she knows exactly what to do to align her task in helping with your financial goals. Also, the front-end person always knows everyone's name. And so if I give him or her a birthday list and they see someone coming in that's having a birthday, now is the time to stop and talk to them about setting up a birthday party at the school during the next month. So the whole idea is to be able to train our staff in order for help everyone on the team help with our financial goals. So that was the next thing we talked about. One of the marketing things for this week was a Facebook ad. So we created actually a banner for the Facebook page. And then we talked about setting up a Facebook ad or a Facebook post and how to boost that. Now, to give everyone some more information, we talked about putting an event on for Martial Arts Workshop. We're going to promote that through the picture that I showed you. And to help our clients, actually scripted this out. Martial Arts Workshop for kids ages 6 to 9, another one for ages 10 to 14. Martial arts teaches kids a lot: fitness, leadership, self-defense, goal setting, flexibility, conflict resolution, and much, much more. Our workshop is designed for those curious to see if martial arts might be the exercise and athletic program for your child. Kids progress at their own pace, and no one sits on the bench while gaining skills. So we talk about the ads, and then we actually give you the exact scripting that you need to add to your event page. Now, a lot of clients really aren't still in tune for Facebook ads. That's another benefit of United Professionals. If that's not your forte, Bill Storm, who's on our team, he will take over as part administrator of your Facebook page and make sure that advertising gets done. So if you're interested in that, make sure that when you call our office, you ask for Bill Storm. Next thing we're talking about, getting prepped for back to school. Now, we started this 7 weeks ahead of school, so everyone's ready. We talked about the importance of having a theme. So if you're having a poster in your window, you're having rack cards, you're doing every door direct mail, if you're sponsoring your teacher's breakfast, they know it's a theme. So our ads aren't going to look totally different. So if someone gets a mailer, and then they happen to see our rack card, well, that looks consistent. I remember getting that in the mail. Then they go into our shopping center and they see the poster in the window. Ah, that's the place that had the mailer, and that's the place that had our rack cards. So everything has to be consistent. So we talked about marketing. We talked about being consistent, having a theme for your marketing. Next thing we talked about was instructor training and how to setting the goal. It was kind of neat with this one because I had just done a seminar at a martial arts school. And it was really neat because at the end we took a picture of myself with all the students. And I said, pose it like Superman. So I expected all the kids to be standing there like Superman. And I look over and there's a kid next to me and he's like this, like he's flying through the air with his fist closed, which is really, really funny. But then I start thinking, this is why instructors don't get the same results all the time. If I just ask my students to do a downward block, some are going to do a downward block, some are going to do a downward block really hard, some are going to do a downward block really hard in a good stance, others are going to do a downward block really hard in a stance, good ki, because they didn't see what I expected. So when I took this picture, I should have posed like Superman, then all the kids would have copied me. So this was just an instructor training tip that, if we expect students to perform just like us, we not only have to verbalize it, we have to demonstrate it. And on the bottom, the heartbeat of the class, I explained to clients the heartbeat of the class is the center of your room. We want to make sure that when you do explanations like this, you teach from the center because now you're in close proximity of all the students. So again, when we do the focus groups, we are talking about business. We all talk about marketing. We talk about making sure we have a strong floor for better retention. And then I gave a couple things for overachievers. So these are our extra assignments. This was part of the focus group too. I said, if you want your students to make sure they check in on Facebook, why don't you give them a free water when they come through the door? So new student or a regular student coming into the school, once they check in on Facebook, then we give them a free water. If they're students that we know really well, we make sure that, hey, not only do you want to check in, make sure you take a picture or do a video, post that as you check in. And another thing, we ask students that we know well, hey, could you give us a 5-star review like some of the other students? Maybe if you go online, you can read some of the 5-star reviews we got. Copy those a little, would really appreciate it. So these were just 4 other things I gave for overachievers. Now our focus meetings last between 30 and 45 minutes. They're once a week. If you can't make them, I do record them. So for some reason you have an appointment or something, you're sure to get the focus group meeting. But it's a really, really important part of the way we teach and the way our clients get really fast and great results. So that's the whole idea about the focus meeting. We'll make sure we assign you a group that you can fit in. So if you have 300 students, you're going to be with the top movers and shakers in the industry. If you're just starting out, I'm going to put you with a group of clients who are just starting out so you can relate to everything that's happening, and I can change the focus group meeting and the curriculum in accordance of how well your school is doing. So now, if you want more information, you're ready to get started, there's a link below that you can get started with our program. You can go right online and join, or you can contact Mr. Storm, and he will get you started right away. We're going to give you access to the UP website immediately, give you a call, talk a little, find out exactly where you're at with your school, so we can assign you to the right focus group so you get the most benefit out of our program. Thank you.